Hello, GloveGossip, and today I'm joined with former WBO middleweight global champion of the world, Mr. Jimmy Kilrain Kelly. Pleasure to have you again, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much for having us.
So, go back to the start, how you actually got into boxing again.
Yeah, so obviously just over here now we're at the shops. You go a little bit further up and there's like a college, but that used to be like an old pub, the Wythenshawe pub. So like my dad used to go down, my dad competed boxing and he just used to go and carry on training as he got a bit older. So I used to get dragged along with him when I was like my kids' age and that. Like I said, I remember like Egan always like screaming and shouting at kids, making him doing all the runs and all that, like press up things and all that to his own count. And I remember like I was only young, so I was too young to sort of get involved. And as I got older, my dad's like, yeah, you start joining in now and doing a bit. I remember thinking like, oh, he shouts at everyone. And then yeah, it was the journey across, like gone to different sites, went from like there to like South Manchester School, went to Ringway School. That's when like Tyson Fury started. Then Cross Acres, and obviously where they are now at Egan's.
Yeah, because I've known you a good few years now, and I've always known that you're a bit of a combat sports. Because I remember obviously when we were kids, you were having MMA fights.
Yeah.
You was again sword fighting. Your dad used to love all that kendo stuff and all that. Didn't you? Remember us taking us to the school and was practicing it. I was like, wow, I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
But your dad just loved like martial arts, any combat sports, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing like your dad was obviously a big, massive part of obviously you getting into boxing itself, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah, because he boxed. I also like a pretty soft kid in that, but my dad had always he'd be into boxing, and obviously as he got older and retired, he'd be like, oh, what, try wrestling, and I'd get dragged along and like Brazilian jiu-jitsu and judo. Like I said, he'd done like bits like the stick fighting and all that, like Filipino stuff. So everything he'd done, I got dragged along with it, but it all just went into a pot, and obviously everything adds to your boxing.
Yeah, 110%. Yeah, because I remember your dad, you just used to have DVDs or just literally everything, didn't you, man? And you just like, check this out. And it's like, I'd never even seen anything like it. Do you know what I mean? Some of the things.
It's like the start. So I've known like obviously 20 years, and it was like earlier days of UFC. It was like the 40s. And I remember the first one I watched. I remember like staying up with him watching it. It was like Chuck Liddell against like Tito Ortiz. The first one. It was like the 40s or something.
Yeah.
Like UFC 40. And I remember like it was at a point where MMA had a mixed really, like where you have gyms. It was like you started like one box and one's a wrestler. Everyone does everything.
Yeah.
But we still at that point where it's like, oh, you've got a boxer against a wrestler. It's like the Randy Couture, who was like a wrestler against like Chuck Liddell, and he was a striker. So it was around that time. So my dad was obviously trying different stuff and all that. But obviously now it's more like to be competitive and you've got to be good at everything. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to have all you stand up and your ground game. Now it's not like that. So when did you actually have your first amateur fight?
I think it's about 10, 11, something like that. At Brooklyn Trading Labour Club.
Yeah.
I think it's not down now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So it's like 20 odd years of obviously fighting and competing now. Yeah, I had my first couple of fights there. Then I got beat in my first fight because it was crap. I didn't fight for a year. Then I was like, I don't really want to do this. And I was like, I'll give it another go. Like even if you've lost your first one, like try and put it right. Obviously, he said you don't want to get older and think like, oh, should have done this and should have done that. So I was like, all right, I will do. He's like, right, you're gonna fight the kid that beat you in your first fight. I was like, okay. I'm like, all right, sound, no problem, and I won. So obviously, then I got into a bit of a role and like maybe like a bit of time off. Like I carried on training and all that, but like the bit of time off done me well. Like and we like matured and got a bit of confidence and all that, and we went from there.
Just a little reset, and then straight back on there, and then especially having a year out, and then still beating the kid that beat you in your first fight after a year.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously that's going to give you obviously motivation then to carry on.
Yeah, of course.
So then obviously you went on a bit of a run then as well, didn't you? And then you won obviously the titles as well, didn't you, as amateur?
Yeah. Won a schoolboys, got beat in the final year after by Lerone Richards.
Which I was going to put on anyway. That was a really, really close fight, but I think obviously you should have had a decision on that one.
I remember chatting to you afterwards. I think, is it like Martin Mongan?
Yeah.
I remember messaging you afterwards, like, I feel like I was unlucky there, and you were saying, like, I think you were lucky not to get that.
Yeah, because I remember you speak to me, and on the run as well, when we were like the MSN days.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And obviously you always wanted that rematch, and you never ever got that rematch in the matches, did you?
He seems to grow quicker than I did.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Yeah.
Obviously I won the junior ABAs back-to-back 3 times, and then I never won the seniors or got to the quarters and broke my hand like training, so I pulled out. But I got into like a role, box for England and all that.
He went to the 4 Nations, was it?
Yeah, I won them. Then he went to the 3 Nations, fought out of Ireland, didn't it? So I think I won them twice. I won European silver and European bronze. So I got like a bit of a roll in that.
Yeah.
I think like I got like a bit of momentum and hit a good stride because I was obviously active all the time and that, and I just started getting some good results.
Yeah, and that's the key to the amateurs, because obviously, like, you know, you see everyone on the amateur ground as well. And obviously, I remember just becoming good friends with you because obviously we used to run the shows together.
Yeah.
So, you know, speaking to you, oh yeah, training Jamaicans, and we just got talking, and you know, we ended up becoming good friends. Like I said, you know, I remember you inviting me around to your house to watch Mayweather and De La Hoya, you know, 20 odd years ago. Do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So we literally became good friends because of obviously the amateur route, and you meet so many good people off you know, off them. And it's just like, you know, you keep in contact with them all and you follow your career, which was the same as you. Do you know what I mean? Like, even though obviously I stopped boxing, I always followed you, and I was like, I knew I was going to do something because I knew how good you was as an amateur.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then obviously what year was it when you turned professional?
Was 2012.
2012, yeah.
So it's been 13 years, like, I've been professional, Yeah, because like you obviously, even though you were trained in Salford, you're like Broadheath.
Yeah, I was also in, yeah.
So you're probably closer to us.
Yeah.
Than there.
Because I was at West Wythenshawe for a bit, and then I was like, right, I need a bit of a reset, so we went down to Arrows, which was Bridgewater now. And then it was a bit of a distance, and obviously everyone used to say, oh, why didn't you go to Jamaicans? And I was like, I never really thought about Jamaicans, but I knew all the lads from there, do you know what I mean? And they got on really well with you, so they just, for some reason, ended up going to that gym, which, you know, probably wasn't a bad thing, because I probably would have messed about if it was with all yous. So it was a kind of bit of a difference, but it was good.
But they had a good team as well, like Martin Mongo.
Yeah, we had Martin, we had like Toby Yates, Lee Gillespie, Kev Levinson.
Yeah, you had a good team down there.
We did, we had a really good team there, but then you had a brilliant team as well, man, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think like around our age, it was like the Burtons, like Jose,
Zach,
Brother Chase. We had like obviously Tyson.
Yeah, you had Kofi. Macaulay. Carl Bumby was on the scene as well. Yeah.
So we had like a good team. And like the old ones like Tazzy Ferguson.
Yeah.
Fights and that,
Taz was good as well. Yeah,
there was had a good few.
And then was it Andy Kelly as well? You had the senior as well, didn't you?
Yeah, he was older. Yeah. So there was a good team. Like I always think, I know when you look back, you're like, oh, the team that they've got now, like, got nothing on what we were. 10, 15 years ago. You know what I mean? But I guess like my dad's group would think the same about us as kids. You get
probably would, But like I said, it was like, and the thing is, it was like, even when you see each other and you know, like, obviously people you weights from each other's gym, we just used to get on with you as well. You know what I mean? We just all used to have a laugh. Do you know what I mean? When we seen each other in, I think, one of the ABA finals, I think it was in one of the London ways, and I remember seeing you and chatting to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Watch you fight and all that. And you can't ever, I don't think, beat them bonds, because, like, obviously we still speak now.
Yeah.
And it was 20 years ago, and you've gone obviously a different path.
Yeah.
And you know, it's nice to have that.
Yeah, you band together, especially when you go like Liverpool or you go London.
Yeah.
You sort of stay together.
Yeah, it's all the Manx in it, obviously all the Manx, and then you go to Liverpool and you go through to London, and you kind of team up, don't you? Because I remember, I think we were boxing Warrington, I can't remember who boxed from our gym, but Fury was on the card. And I remember, obviously, we all went together. And I remember, I don't think you was there, but there was a few of us. And obviously, we stayed, obviously, to watch Fury. I think it was on his 5th amateur fight as well. So we stayed there, which obviously it was good, you know what I mean? Because obviously, then again, you know, you're speaking to everyone, you get to know everyone, and it was good.
Yeah, it was massive at that point. I remember the first day coming to the gym, like at Cross Acres, and he's 14, but he was like 6'4", 6'5" then.
That's mad, innit?
Yeah.
And he used to come with Huey as well, because I remember, I think Huey used to come down to our gym for a bit of sparring and stuff like that, and he was just like, wow, you know what I mean? You look up at him and stuff like that, it was crazy.
I think he was at Jamaicans for a bit, like Hugh, but when he was there, he was only like a kid. He was a proper kid.
Yeah. And he's still about 6 foot.
Yeah, and then I think he went somewhere else. I think he done well in like the World Championships. Did he win them or something?
I'm not sure. I know he went pretty far though, didn't he?
Yeah, I know he medalled, and I remember like, but at the time he was only a kid, so we never really, like, he was a bit younger than us.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, they had like his brother Huey. Oh, you got Shane and you got Huey.
Yeah, you got Shane and Huey, yeah.
And he was like massive as well, Huey, when he was like, probably the same size he is now at like 12 or 13.
It's mad, you were all just dead massive, weren't you? Just see him like that, and it was just like, wow. Do you know what I mean? And you just, because I always remember when he fought David Price at the forum.
Yeah.
I remember obviously one of our lads from boxing on the show, and we're in the changing rooms with Tyson Fury, and obviously Tyson Fury's head's like there.
Yeah.
And I've come out obviously the door, and David Price is like on the corridor, and he can't go into the changing rooms because he was too tall. So, so do you know what I mean? He's like, wow, what's going on here, man? Like my mountains.
Remember that Tyson did drop him though.
Pardon?
Tyson did.
Yeah, he didn't count it though, did he?
No.
He didn't count it.
He didn't box because I think he just got beat in the world, didn't he, Tyson?
Yeah.
And he was like as a junior, so it was like his first senior fight. And I think it was a fight straight after.
Yeah.
and it was too much too soon, obviously, because he was a young kid.
Yeah, it was.
David Price had just, I think he got like gold in the Commonwealth Games and all that.
Yeah, just before that, and because I always remember, I was like, Fury's had something like 12 amateur fights, wasn't it? So like, he didn't have a lot, and like David Price had like over 100, and he like, do you know what I mean? It was a pretty close fight. Yeah, David Price obviously did win the fight, but I was thinking, you've only had 12 fights.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To go in there and do that, I was like, you know what I mean? Fair play. You know,
I remember just like he throws a bit tight, so it's a different story now, and he's done well. But as a kid, like, I remember like he looked like gun shy, and then when he come into it like towards, I think it's like the end of the second round, he hit him with a right hand.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, he got him here. But just experiencing it, but if they ever fought as a professional, I think Tyson always had his.
Yeah, he did, definitely did. It's different into the levels of the pro game in it. Yeah. So I mean, you see obviously a lot of good amateurs and they turn to professional, and it's like it don't work out for them.
No, they can't do it.
It's a different game, and like I said, there's levels to it. So you obviously then turned pro. You worked up obviously, you know, a good few wins, didn't you? And then you got a call for Liam Smith, didn't you?
Yeah. So I think 10 years ago this year it is. It just come too soon, I think, for us. Like I got in like a good bit of a momentum, won some titles, and just like worked my way up. And I had some decent wins and stuff like that.
Yeah, you did.
The kid prior that I beat before Liam Smith, like he was like a good rated Argentinian. I had a tough fight with him, but I put him down like 3 or 4 times, but won on points. And then I was told like, right, you're gonna fight in February on the Terry Flanagan, Derry Matthews card. So I have a bit of a rest. It was an hard fight. Like I had like a bad cheek. Like he caught me with an head, and my eye come out pretty bad. And I damaged my elbow in the fight. I remember just like I come out of pissing blood as well, coming for a few like good body shots.
Yeah.
So obviously he said to Frank, he went, yeah, just chill. And my elbow was like pretty bad, to be fair. And then I remember we went on holiday, and Lee Bird said, they're saying, would you fight Liam Smith in about 5 weeks? I said, I thought he was fighting Shane Mosley. So now he's they fell off, like, but because it's in Manchester, like, you need to take it, really. That's a big opportunity. And I was a bit like, I felt they're up for it, but and even my body wasn't right. You know what I mean?
It's a quick turnaround, right? You know, 5 weeks after, you know, you obviously just had a really hard fight as well, and then you're going to be fighting obviously the hardest fight, obviously in your professional career. So I mean, it's a very, very quick turnaround, 5 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah. Then I remember like obviously I got beat. Obviously I had a scan afterwards. I need like surgery on my elbow, but it just comes too soon for us. I was 23. Like I've never been like at a press conference before.
Yeah.
Like I've never been. My fights have been on like recorded but not shown live on TV. All of a sudden, a main event at the arena with like a big card and that, and even like it just daunts and everything. Like normally people build up to it. Like they'll be on an undercard press conference where they'll sit at a table and maybe, And I'd never done one before, and it was like straight into the deep end. And Lee Swift gave me shit, and I was like, I was like, right, what, do I give him shit back? Or like, I didn't know like what can you do?
Yeah. I remember you rocking up with United top on though.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah,
I remember like, how far can I push it here? Like, can it be pretty rude or like what? Not like. So I remember just being a bit like a deer in the headlights and thought, I'm pretty sharp with my tongue.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, no, yeah.
But I thought I don't know what to do here. So it was a good experience. So like it did put us back a little bit, but I think in the long term it served me good.
It obviously did. Obviously at the time, you probably thought afterwards, it didn't. But obviously, it was definitely some exposure for you.
Yeah.
And obviously, it might have been a bit too soon, but it did. Like I said, it's a learning curve for you, innit? And obviously, look what obviously Liam Smith went on to do.
Yeah.
And had a brilliant career. You know what I mean? And you can always say, I shared the ring with him. I tell you what, mate, he was a proper good tear up as well.
Yeah, so I just did a walk. Like I wasn't like physically tired. I just thought, I think that was like my 5th or 6th fight of the year.
Yeah.
And all of them were like 10 rounders because I was fighting at the warehouse pretty often.
Yeah.
And I was tight of the weight even back then. And I remember I got to like the 6th, 7th round. And I remember thinking, not like I'm just tired yet. I'm just gassed. And I think it was obviously his pressure as well. Like, and I just remember him like, where you normally get a rest in the fight, go for a walk, you're just there all the time. I think I just mentally thought, I need to switch off here or go for a walk. He didn't give it you. So, but again, it was a good experience. It's something that I can look back. He's done well. It's a shame that he's probably towards the end of his career now.
Yeah.
But he's had some good wins. He's had some good nights in America, like myself and that. So, fair play to him.
Yeah, that's good. And then, like I said, obviously, and you got back straight away, didn't you? And then obviously you had a few more fights, and then you jumped in with Dennis Hogan as well, didn't you?
Yeah. The one with Dennis Hogan was like a bit disappointing. I got told like a few days before the fight by the British boxing board, said, "Oh, you failed the brain scan, you've got to come home." So I'm like, "What's wrong with it?" They're like, "Oh, we can't tell you." So I said, "Well, I'm not flying back home if there's an issue, obviously, on all the pressure on your brain. It's a 24-hour flight." So there's like loads of back and forth for that. I had to get another scan over there. And leading up to the fight, I'm like making weight and having to have like scans and that.
Yeah. So again, it's throwing you off your game plan straight away again, isn't it?
Yeah. So and even by the time the fight came, I remember I was mentally just drained. Like I just thought, I remember thinking, am I fighting or not? Even till the day I had to go see a neurologist at like 4 o'clock the afternoon just before the fight.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it going to happen or not? I remember like by the time the fight came, I remember like the fight started, and I remember like Lee Baird going, "Mate, you're falling asleep. You need to step it up." I remember thinking like, I said, "What round is it?" He went, "It's 10." I thought, like, I mean, just like a big lapse.
Yeah.
Just like mentally tired, and then obviously I got beat. I think I was unlucky to not get a decision. I watched it back.
Yeah, it was a close fight. It was a close fight. And I remember watching it and I thought, it was a really close fight. But then obviously now you're just saying, obviously, you had that bit of a lapse. I didn't really know, obviously, what was going on around the camp as well.
Yeah.
So obviously on another night, it could have been your night that night.
Yeah, like it was a fight that I was confident. I remember watching him thinking, he's not that good. He's just awkward. Like his awkwardness does him well. And I remember, like, I just didn't feel like I had the gaze in the fight, no to push because my mind was elsewhere and all that. And even like after a fight, I remember he hit me on the top of the head in like towards the end of the fight. I think because we're having like I had 2 scans that week and I had to see like a few specialists, and it all come to nothing. It comes to like the board, like your brain can like change within a certain percentage.
Yeah.
They lost apparently they lost missed scans. According to like the manager at the time, he said they lost like the scans, so they were comparing like scans that were like 3 years between each other.
Right, yeah.
And I think maybe the confusion was like me legal name's James, but obviously the other name's Jimmy. So they said, "Oh, it's a big change," but when they said you're looking at scans that are too far apart.
Yeah. So the years apart, and then obviously you rang you, they threw you off, obviously.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking about, I've got a brain scan, and then you're trying to get a fight. You're fighting. It's just obviously it's not ideal, is it?
It's good money, and my missus was pregnant with her like about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I'm thinking, "Oh, I've got a fight." And
I need the money as well. Yeah.
It was a stressful time, but then I sort of again lost a bit of momentum after that fight. I won that answer afterwards, which was a bit crap to be fair.
Yeah. Do you regret the obviously the inactivity? Do you?
I don't think it was anything to do with myself. Like it just around the time I was with MTK and just opportunities weren't coming up, and they were putting it down. So you're a big risk for no reward. Like you're a tough fight, but no one really knows you. You could fight someone else. The promoter could probably pay him less money than you'd get, but they're a bigger name.
Draw,
and they're less risk. So you're in a bit of a crap situation. So, and again, I just kept on training. And the fight with Kanat Islam came up in America. And I was thought to just be like the B side, and I don't know where I won.
It was mad, because in that fight, they had you a massive underdog.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, you're writing him off. I was like, I always thought, you're writing him off, mate. And he was, again, straight away, what obviously his plans were to go down the right, and he was going to be saying he wants to fight Mongolia, and he wasn't focusing on you and stuff like that. And you went in there, man, and absolutely one of your best performances.
Yeah, it was a top night, but I knew, because I've not been active in that, I thought, right, this is my last chance. Like, if we lose here, there's no backlash. Obviously, you can lose like to like some Munguia, and you sort of you can come back, or you can lose for Canelo. But I thought this is like his big American come out. So he's like obviously from Kazakhstan. People know him.
Yeah,
they're saying he's going to be like the next Golovkin.
Yeah, the next superstar. Yeah,
and I remember just thinking like, I've got to have to win this fight at all costs. And I really like knuckled down. I just thought whatever he hits us with, and it was a tough time, but I was switched on proper. I remember like I went over like 2.5 weeks before to Florida. Got obviously was in top shape. Everyone was there, and he was in camp. We stayed in the same facility and that. We were training at the same time. And I remember like first time I seen him, he was nice thick. I remember I went up to him and I just grabbed on his shoulder and was like, "No, push that a bit." I said, "Yes, mate, you all right?" He like looked at me a bit weird, like,
"What are you doing?"
Yeah, I think he thought like, "Oh, this kid's coming over and just wants to get paid."
Yeah.
That's it. And I think he was a bit like taken back. That thought, "Oh, he's putting on me a bit."
Yeah, he's coming in for fight. He's coming in to fight now.
And then I remember like Arnie, every time we seen like he had like this dodgy like Kazakh, I don't know, like mafia fella with him or something who was apparently like to do with like try to do revolutions over there. Jeez. And every time Arnie seen him, he was like, like, you fucking dickhead, like giving the
What
guy
was it?
shit.
Yeah.
And the guy was like looking at Arnie like who's this like mad English fella? And it just made him feel like super uncomfortable, you get what I mean? Like he was saying like, oh, I went with like Connor and all that, and every time and Arnie's son, and I was like, just do things like every time he trains, like just go sit in the gym when he's there, because the gym was open.
Yeah.
Like, oh, can you tell him to get out of the gym and all that? Like, we just unsettled him. And I had one of my mates who was working like around the gym and that, and I said, just keep an eye on what he's doing and that. And then the Tuesday, so Ben and I were fighting on I think it was a Friday or the Saturday we're fighting. It was a Friday.
Yeah, it was a Friday, yeah.
And then on the Monday night, my mate went, oh, he's just done 10 rounds sparring. I said, what? On a Monday? And oh, mate, but he's looking good, you know. He said, yeah, Roy Jones brought this kid down to spar him, and he said he's just ironed him out. And I went, what? Can I? He went, yeah, he makes sparks him. And I went, what? Then he went, he's just hit the other kid with a body shot and done him. So he said he basically just like a bit of a play around.
Yeah.
He said he's looking good, you know. But I remember like I wasn't nervous about it. I thought, yeah, well, that's not me. Like I remember going for a walk, and like sometimes you can think like they're doing more than I'm doing.
Yeah.
I need to go and do something. I remember just being dead relaxed, and I went and got a coffee from the garage. Just went for a walk like late at night, just super relaxed. Because I thought I know what I'm in with. Like it's going to be an hard fight. And I remember thinking like they're not me. Like I remember like looking, the guys like experienced pros like 30 odd fights, like to 25 and 5, but obviously at a lower level. I remember thinking, yeah, but they're not me. Like he's going to be in for an hard night, like win, lose, or draw.
That's the best way to look at it. Like, listen, they like me, and you know, I know some people can think, oh, can you always drop this person? If Roy Jones is brought down, he's got to be decent. But that mindset is perfect for that, because you think to yourself, yeah, man, he's not in with me. I'm gonna cause him some problems. And obviously, when fight night came, he did.
Yeah, dominated. I remember like the first round. I remember looking at me like his eyes like dead wide, like that. I think I've got into a clinch with him, and I think like, no, I think like his arm there. I remember just thinking like, I'm gonna let him know straight away he's in a fight. And I think I've had my left arm on his shoulder. I've had his arm, I just pinned him and just pulled him down like that. No, to like my waist. The referee's like break, no, pull me off, and I've just kept him there for like a second to be like, damn it, I'm gonna fucking
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to show him.
And as he stepped back, he like looked at me like dead open eyed, like, oh, like he's not just turning up to get paid.
This kid wants it. That's what I mean. He wants it.
And then I remember he kept smirking after every round. He kept smirking, and then I think by round 5 and 6, like I think I had a cut and he had a cut. I remember his face just changing. I remember thinking like, I'm falling behind here pretty bad. And then the more he like tried to swing like single shots.
Yeah, that's when you catching him even more then, because obviously his game plan went out the window and he was just swinging and you just catching him and you just moving and you just jabbing his head off. Yeah. I just remember I was like, this is like the fight you needed.
Yeah.
Because obviously this is obviously the one that you wanted, world title on the line, and I'm thinking this is exactly what you needed, and everything just worked for you.
Yeah,
and you know, obviously you got your hand raised at the end, which was obviously, you know, brilliant to see as well. You know, watching you and obviously growing up with you and stuff like that, I was like, do you know what I mean? I really wanted you to get it, and you got it.
Yeah, mate, like you said, it's not spoken about enough. Like, I don't think it's. I remember being like the next morning, like boxing news rang and all that, and I were like wanting to know about the fight, and they were saying, do you know it's the biggest upset of a British boxer abroad? And I was like, he said, you started off like 28 to 1 or
yeah.
And it was going through like, Lloyd Honegan and like Don Curry, he was like 9 to 1, and Kell Brook against Sean Porter was like 6 to 1 maybe. And he was saying about like Tyson against Deontay Wilder was like 5 to 1. To like make you by far is the biggest upset of a British boxer abroad on like in terms of like betting odds.
Yeah.
And I had a mate who put like 500 quid in it, so we were well.
Did he get you a beer as well, hopefully?
Yeah, it looks after. But towards the end, I remember like people seeing the odds where people like putting money on. They like limited to like 20 quid. You can only put 20 quid on. I think it went down to about 11 to 1. And everyone was like, yeah, do you only let me put £20 on? And like open other accounts.
Yeah,
like,
so just keep putting 20s on that.
Yeah, there were loads of people like buzzing. Everyone made a few quid, I think.
So then obviously again, obviously when you come back to the Manchester, like I don't think, like you said before, I don't think it was spoken about enough.
No.
I think you definitely didn't get, you know, the credit you deserve for doing that. And I remember reading obviously the boxing news and stuff like that, but it was like there was nothing about it. No. I think you've just won the world title, be one of the hottest prospects this guy was meant to be going on, maybe the world scene fighting, obviously Canelo and Munguia, and then he just like died off. And I was just thinking, like, why did you not get any exposure for that?
I think because I'm pretty quiet myself, I just keep myself. I don't get involved in trash talk and all that. And I think possibly because of he was a Catholic, like he was not known over there. It's not like he's a Golovkin that had a big reputation. I think they would take him over there to build it.
To build it, yeah.
And I heard like his next fight to do it, he might be fighting Munguia in June. And I was like, yeah, if I beat him, like I'll get that Munguia. Yeah. And I think that was like spoke about the week of the fight. And I remember waiting for like the call for like the Munguia fight. Like I went on holiday and was like, when is it going to come? Like I remember like anxious and thinking like, when's it going to come? When's it going to come? And it came about early May. It was with again about 6 weeks to go. So it's been a couple of months. I remember sitting down, it was like a Monday night, just finished training, and obviously like I was a bit relaxed on my diet. I remember eating a donut, and my manager Jay's message going, "Oh mate, I've just seen the top message, just had a call off Robert Diaz, and obviously a golden boy." I just knew straight away. I thought, right, stick that away, and then they said, "What fight Munguia?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." But then it went quiet for about 2 weeks.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought I've lost this, and it's seen like he's fighting that Michael's Raffino.
Yeah.
But I just kept on training. I thought, yeah, I'm going to keep me head on the game here because I know like how they play it. Then it was literally done pretty quick. He went, "Are you happy with that?" I went, "No, I want that." And then we met in the middle. Then it was like, right, 11th of June, Anaheim, and it was my little girl's birthday. So yeah.
So what was you buzzing into the Munguia fight?
Yeah, over. But again, I remember thinking I was in the same mindset there of like I've got nothing to lose. I remember like watching Dennis Hogan, like schooled him. And I thought, on my best night, I dominate Dennis Hogan. I remember, but then I had to have like a bit of a think. I thought he was at 154 there, drained to death.
Yeah.
Here, he's at super middleweight here. He's a different monster. You get what I mean? But again, I trained hard. I had good sparring. I sparred Lyndon Arthur, just for his size.
Yeah. And his jab as well, innit? He's always got a really good jab, Lyndon, yeah.
And good uppercuts, like Munguia got good uppercuts. So I thought, right, I'm going to spar like Lyndon. And I remember like, you probably won't mind me saying, I think I've done all right in some of the early spars. And then he started sticking up me to he didn't even uppercut one of the spars. And I thought, if I could take it off him, I'll be all right with it.
Yeah.
But it didn't quite work out like that.
So obviously you got to get to the fight night and all that. What was the build up and what was the atmosphere like over there?
Yeah, the atmosphere was mad. Like we were looked after, to be fair. Like Golden Boy looked after us, good hotel rooms, good. We'd let us come over early. Wanted to come over early again with the time difference. They let me use my gloves because I said, "Oh, these gloves aren't passed in California." But they were like, "Yeah." But they said, "Right, we're weighing in at I think it's like 6 or 7 a.m. the day before the fight in the morning, or super early." Yeah, because obviously I knew he was tight of the weight. I tried to argue with it. I go, "No, like we can't be at 6 in the morning. It's nearly 2 days to hydrate."
Yeah.
They're like, "No, like that's what we're doing." I remember seeing him like look dead, like he just looked dead gone.
You like Skeletor.
And then the next night he was fucking 3 times the size.
You see it so many times, don't you? Obviously, you see someone struggling to make weight, and then next time you see me, they're just like that, the build.
Yeah, he just looked massive. Like when, but it would sound like it was he nothing does really. Like I tried to. Well, I remember like when we had a face off, like I got his hand and pulled him a little bit, and he just looked at me as if to be like go away, you. It's like getting wound up. He's just like
not bothered.
He just didn't seem bothered. But again, I think he took us lightly because I think if he looked and go, well, Jimmy's lost to Liam Smith and Dennis Hogan, I've all got a win over both of them.
Yeah.
So, but again, like I felt like I dominated the early rounds and. He fucking just took me head off with a shot.
Absolutely dominated, man. I remember the commentators were going mental when I was watching it. And it was like, oh my God, he's making a mockery of these obviously the betting and all this. Yeah, I just remember he's going out, yeah, and you were just piecing him up.
I know.
You were just throwing, it's everything you threw in the early rounds. You landed on him, mate, and it was just like Jim's going to win this. Jim's going to do this. Do you know what I mean? But then Munguia, obviously being out technical years, weights, took you in, and then obviously hit you, and then
But again, like I'm pretty honest. Like after the fight, everyone's like, "Oh, you're winning there." I just said, "Do you know what it felt like it?" Because the size, like they said, he put on like 31 pounds from like.
Oh yeah.
And I put on like 12, and so he's massively heavier than me. He's a naturally bigger guy anyway. I remember just thinking like, I was ahead. I was like at the half marathon point of a marathon. I was ahead, but I'm in like 6th gear, and the guy is a couple of steps behind, and he's just plodding. And the inevitability was just like he was just going to go like that.
Go that, yeah.
And I remember like, I'm having to box and keep on my toes and move every second to stay ahead. And I'm doing all right here, but then it was just like, it just felt like we were getting closer.
Yeah.
And even when he was hitting, remember like when you like parry a jab, remember like me like pain in my elbow, like I remember parrying a jab, it was like, I remember, I could feel like my technique in
so
my elbow.
you felt the power from early on then,
yeah. And he caught us a shot. It's probably not the hardest shot I've ever been hit with, but I think he's gone like across my chest. So his elbow's been here. So as I've pushed his elbow, he's just come round and left up me. So he's obviously knew that I've pushed the elbow down, he's caught me.
Yeah.
And I thought, fair play, mate, like good tactic and that. But I remember watching like previous in these fights, if he's hurt you, he like swarms on you and don't let you and like, tries to go for the finish. Yeah. And I remember there's times where he's put people down, but they've got up and look fresh, and he's not gone after him so far. He's worried about his gas here. Like, so if you ever get hurt, try and pretend that I'm not.
Yeah, just go up.
And I remember like I went down, I got to my knees, and I remember like just like going, what that's for him? And then I got up and I thought, right, I'm gonna go take the centre of the ring. So I just ran straight to the centre of the ring, and I thought, I'm gonna blag that I'm not hurt. He just stepped back away. And then I put me on my ass, and I remember thinking, that didn't work out.
Yeah.
And that was probably the hardest shot of the night. I remember I had a big bruise on my chin. Like, obviously I shaved my beard after the fight. I remember just had a big bruise there where it just fucking, bit me that uppercut, and that one hurt me. I remember just looking at the corner going, I'm going to get on my back foot a bit now. He's trying to get through the round. And then obviously he got me again towards the end of the round, and the referee waved it, but I had one mistake in it, and then it's at that level.
Yeah. It's like you said, we said before, there's levels, obviously the Mungwe, but like I said, just how you hung in them early rounds, do you know what I mean? Like, I've never seen anyone dominating Mungwe like that for them first couple of rounds. And obviously, I know obviously you said he was catching up, but I've never seen him being outboxed like that. So that's an achievement, alone. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Appreciate it, thank you.
No worries, mate. And then obviously you had a couple of fights recently, haven't you?
Yeah, tough fights. Like even in the combat fight, I fought a kid from Dominican Republic over again in Florida. He just beat Mark DeLuca, one who fought Kell Brook.
Yeah.
And I think he put him down 3 or 4 times. So it was like it was the kid who just dropped Tony Harrison.
Yeah. I know you
so
mean,
he's got like a bit of a patchy record, but every now and he'd like lose to someone who's rubbish.
Yeah, but then beat someone that's half decent. Yeah.
So he's coming off like 2 good wins, and he said, "Do you want to fight him?" And I thought, it's a bit of like a danger man. Yeah. And again, I beat him on points. Pretty tough fight. Just seemed to be there all night. Then his fight after me, he went to New York and knocked this kid out who was 10-0. Just aim with a right hand in the first round and ironed the kid out, so he shows level. And then I fought Jose Velasco. He lost to the world title like a couple of weeks below, gave Progress. Yeah. And then again, like I was dominating him, and he hit the referee and got
it was mental, that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was crazy. I remember watching it. Obviously, I didn't watch it in the night, but I remember seeing the clip of it, and I was like, what's going on here? And the referee was like,
he kept like, I remember in the first round, like the referee said, like we got in a clinch. He said, like, punch it out, and he's like looked at her. Obviously, he doesn't speak English. So I hit him, and he's like seen his ass, going mad. I was like, she said like punch out, but then she shouted at me. I was like, you said punch out.
What's going on here?
So just like he got wound up, he can't speak English. Then as the fight's gone, he's headbutted a few times. And so what I done, I just kept putting my head low. Yeah. Like when I was inside, I just kept putting my head low, and then he'd try and headbutt us or like running with his head, and he'd catch the top of my head, and he'd moan, and I'd go, well, I'm not gonna have my head up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then I think I've like threw a right hand, and we both clashed heads again. And then the referee is like broke us apart, and he's like kicking off and throwing about. But I was getting on top of him, and he hurt him in the round before, and he was done. And I remember in the ring, his coach was like moaning, and I think so. I've like obviously you're in the middle of a fight, like full of adrenaline. So I was like giving him stick, and then when I've got in the change rooms, I was like, get your gloves off now. So like, I pulled the gloves off. So I've got in the change room, and because he's like a bit mouthy and all that. But then when he's in the changing room, he's in there with the commission. So I'm like, right, what do we do? Going outside or what? And then the ref, the guy in the commission went, mate, he's having his purse suspended because he hit the referee. If you carry on, you're getting yours suspended. I went, Sam, mate. But I was on top of I was like, mate, we're going outside or what? And they were going, yeah, sure, mate. You're going to get your purse withheld as well. So I was like,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I've
sweet guy. Yeah.
seen that meme with Homer Simpson. He goes in the bush.
Yeah, that was you.
I'll be just
As if you weren't back in there, right? Come on then. Let's have it outside.
and then I've done an exhibition in Kuwait against that Kurbanov, the one who beat Liam Smith.
Yeah.
It's like an event for like the royal family, not just like a four freeze exhibition with like big gloves on. And then again, I was looking, a few fights fell through. Like I think it looked like Eubank would he was going to sign for Matchroom before he went with boxers, so he was going to do like a homecoming for him in Brighton. I agreed to that. That didn't happen.
Oh, that would have been a good fight, wasn't it?
And then I got offered the Virgil Ortiz fight. I was training for that, and then he fought.
Yeah, I remember hearing a few rumours about the Virgil Ortiz fight. I remember, but then obviously nothing ever come of it. So obviously I just thought, it's done. But I remember hearing a few rumours. I thought, that'd be a mint fight. That'd be really good for you. That.
But he was moving up again from welterweight. He was going to come in at like 158, and he said, "Can you come in a bit lighter?" I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go. And I thought we're too big for him. I'll just outbox him. And then he didn't. He fought. I think he's supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight someone a little bit after. So he fought that Thomas Dolmore instead, like just a bit of a crap fight.
Yeah.
And that year, like he didn't fight like last year because it was like big fight after big fight fell through. And it was like, well, one will come off. And obviously I got offered the fight in Pakistan, like Chris Glover's got a bit of a deal with like Danny Vaughan over there for that Mohammed Wazeem. So I got a good win on that. Yeah, mate, it's just keeping busy now.
Yeah, just taking over and stuff like that. Yeah.
There's obviously off camera like there's a big fight that I signed for, but it's been postponed and I'm told it'll happen before the end of the year. And
something to look out for, guys. Anyway, something's big brewing in it. Something's definitely big brewing, but we'll see what comes out. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on as well.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you.
No problem at all. Guys, if you enjoy, make sure you give us a like and subscribe, please. Thank you very much.